Hey, welcome to 10-Minute Daily Reality Check. You know, trying to find, Eddie, a really good place to record is difficult. So today we decided we're going to record in my daughter's room.
Next to the Chucky doll.
Next to the Chucky. And this doll, I'll post it online for you guys to look at it. This thing is the creepiest thing now. That doll, it's named Becky.
That's even worse.
Okay? So Layla, when she comes over here, I will literally have Becky waiting in the hallway, hanging from with one arm, hanging from the fire escape, or hanging from not the fire escape, from the fire extinguisher.
Wow.
And Layla will just be sitting there and looking at it and wondering, oh my God, has Becky come out here by herself? We have to hide Becky when she goes to sleep. I mean, Becky is bottom line one of the creepiest dolls you've ever seen, ever. And that was a gift from her grandmother who passed away. So it's one of those things that her mother is requested to keep, but her mother doesn't want to keep it at her house. So I've got this freaky fucking doll that literally is consistently greeting me in weird places. And I don't know how Becky got there. I have no idea. I think Becky ruined Critter Village. Anyway, forget about Becky, man. We're talking about something today. There's a new cigarette that people are literally inhaling on a daily basis. It's got no smoke at all. It doesn't even really take putting up to your lips. It's more...
It probably will give you cancer, though.
It will give you cancer. It'll probably give you cancer, but it's more like eyes to the screen.
And neck down.
And neck down, and it kind of fucks you up. But we were talking the other day when we were working out that social media is the new fucking cigarette.
Yep, it's the new Newport.
It is,
Marlboro. The new Marlboro, man. It's Instagram.
And
Facebook and Twitter and Snapchats.
Why are people so addicted?
And then you got your different flavors based on your filters now too. So you might want a menthol. You might want something harsher. Who knows? But you got your filters based on what you like. It's the fantasy world. You can see where people can create their lives at now. And it becomes addictive to see what other people are doing, so you can judge your life to theirs as well.
Interesting, because the people are creating these fantasy worlds about themselves.
Or their jobs.
Or
their physique, or everything else in the world.
Oh, yeah, and the memes that they put up there. It's like, when somebody in fantasy land is having a rough day, they put up some meme, and then all of a sudden somebody else in fantasy land says, hey, that's great. And then people become addicted because when they put something up, they're looking. They wake up in the morning. They go. There was a statistic that I think 75% of the people now wake up and look at Facebook or Instagram. The first thing they do.
Oh yeah.
So they look for the instant gratification. How many people like them or hearted them? And it is extremely addicting because people in general, if you think about it.
You know what you just said. When first thing you do when you get up is what? Check your Instagram, your Facebook. First thing most smokers do. Gotta have a cigarette when I wake up. Gotta have a cigarette after I eat. Gotta have a cigarette when I'm stressed or on my break. Just like now. Now I gotta check Instagram. I gotta check Facebook. Gotta check my updates. Gotta check my status. Gotta see who's watching me and judging me.
Yeah, and people are very insecure, which is a really interesting thing because if you think about it, they're going to something that literally is addicting like a cigarette. So the cigarette, and we'll even get into what people do outside a bar because now most people outside a bar are checking their phones. They're not even checking. They're not
away
smoking
from
a
the
cigarette,
person they
right?
came with or something like that.
Oh yeah, they're not dipping their fingers into the petri dish of nuts. They're literally while they're waiting for somebody, they're looking on their phone, just like they used to have a cigarette and a drink. Now people are having an Instagram and a tweet. So it's really. It's fucking bizarre out there because you have so many, it's all driven by insecurity because most people, 80% of the world is insecure. So they're looking for that validation to make them feel better, right? It's probably 90%, right?
I would say.
But what I'm seeing now is I'm seeing people even more insecure than ever before and more validated than ever before. So social media is not really giving them what they need. And I know people...
It's not even giving them the rush of the cigarette fix, the high you get from the cigarette. You're right. So it's an interesting addiction. It's the new addiction, but it can be a painful one because even though it torments you, you still run to it. Because that's what you think about it. Do I party like this group of people that I look at who live in San Diego? Or am I as smart as that girl in Philadelphia who reads books and still gets to the gym? Or is our relationship as good as that couple in Atlanta who seem to have it all, and the houses and the nice cars and the backyard, and I love her curtains and the way they eat breakfast. And he could be a wife beater. You never know, but I just see the way they live looks so great.
Well, yeah, and everybody's, having the illusion of that. It's funny because a friend of mine used to live in Livingston, New Jersey before he got divorced.
Mhm.
And he hated it because everybody went and got a new driveway. Then everybody got a new pool.
Yeah.
And it was everybody keeping up with the
Joneses,
Joneses,
yeah.
right? And it was usually, in those days, it was usually just about keeping up with the Joneses in your neighborhood.
Oh,
Now
good
you're
segue.
keeping up with the Joneses
Yep.
via social media. So you're 100% right. It's like all of a sudden you evaluate yourself, literally taking a puff, evaluating yourself based on the friend that lives in Atlanta that has that marriage that you perceive to be the good marriage, right? And then everybody always pretends to be super happy.
Yep.
You've got the super happy on people on Facebook, and then you also have the people on Facebook and Instagram that post some of the most depressing shit
Yeah.
I've ever seen in my entire life. And it keeps feeding the addiction because people are addicted
And
to
then
other people's
Right.
lives.
Yes, that would be I was just about to say the same thing. It's that, well, I'm addicted to see how you react to this, or, oh, let's look at the pictures at your dad's funeral and your dad just died in the hospital and you're laying next to him. Let's look at your emotional struggle and let's project all that. And it's the nicotine, the inhaling of somebody else's emotions. That's what you're absorbing now. Let me absorb how someone else feels and look at their emotions and judge their life from a distance.
Yeah, the judging is unreal. The judging is out of control.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you think about the judging, we can even throw in the other addictions, okay? There's not just the Facebook addiction and the Twitter and the Instagram addiction that's really replaced cigarettes. There are people that will sit at a cafe and literally eat a meal and then put their review on Yelp because they feel like it's their opportunity or their rite of passage to go and fuck with somebody's livelihood in business because they had a waitress or a waiter that had a bad day. They had a burger that was a little overcooked, but there's no harm in that at all. Shit happens, right?
It's better over than under.
Right? And then all of a sudden, every single business, because of this new addiction, the
Yep.
addiction that people are now spending more time doing than anything else before.
Including driving.
Oh yeah, including driving,
While driving.
including while driving. I mean, but look at Amazon. I mean, look at Amazon. Speakers, everything, vitamins, everything is about somebody's experience, and people are reading. It's funny. I'll go to
Yeah,
TripAdvisor.
yeah.
And I'll look at all the reviews for hotels. And no offense to all of you that live in different parts of the country, but to tell you the truth, I quickly look and find New York City businessman or businesswoman, or LA or San Francisco businessman or businesswoman, or Chicago businessman or businesswoman. I read their quick review to see if the hotel is good. No offense to all you weekend travelers or you people that go away on a non-regular basis. It's like you just don't understand traveling as much as this other person. But people are trashing hotels, ripping them apart, saying that this was substandard. There was a little bit of dirt in the bathroom, and it's the same thing. People are addicted to not only reading other people's shit, but they're addicted to becoming Siskel and Ebert, and they're addicted to literally ripping people apart and fucking with people's livelihood.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem with social media. It's like it's the lighter to the nicotine, to the feeding of that emotion where you get to judge and look and be the judge and the jury of someone else's life and their business. It's like, oh well, I'm an expert now. Well, what makes you an expert? I have an opinion, so that just makes me an expert. And that's where you get caught up. Everybody can't be Dave Wygant. Everybody can't be Eddie Palmer. So therefore, you're not an expert in your field. Doesn't mean you should have an opinion that you should give globally on it. It's one thing to say around your friends or at a party, but when, like you said, you're going on Yelp and all these other places and releasing your feelings about something because the waitress had a bad day, the establishment itself could be great. You're running it into the ground because of that. You're right. So people do get their jollies off through the social media fix. It's like you said, I'm at a bar waiting on my friends. How many pictures can I go through in Snapchats and Instagram and Facebook pages before they get there? And then once I get there, how many times can I check my phone in between laughs and giggles, and how many Snapchat updates can I post while we're out to seem like we're really having a good time? Well, how can you have a good time if you're too busy posting your good time?
Well, it's so funny. It's so funny. People are posting pictures of food. People are posting pictures of them drinking. Then they're looking at the picture. Women do that all the time. I go out, I see women take a picture of themselves, and they all look at it. And I'll walk over to them and go, "Hey, you look like you just looked like a minute ago. It's like you don't need to recheck yourself out, right?" And they start laughing, and I go, "No, I'm serious about that. You really look just like you just looked."
Or they zoom in on a pimple that was there 4 weeks ago on
Right.
their forehead that's gone now. Yeah.
But it is the diversion. It is the cigarette because people are so nervous all the time. So now,
They
and I got to
hide
say
with the
this,
cigarette, yeah.
at least people aren't smoking as much. I mean, this is a healthier addiction, but to tell you the truth,
Honestly,
it's a
it's not.
lonelier addiction because
Honestly, it's
cigarette
not.
smokers used to drink and
If you
smoke
think
and
about
connect.
it, exactly, you smoke a cigarette, you'd be outside with somebody, they're smoking a cigarette, you're holding a conversation. Now you're outside holding your phone, looking down next to somebody else and not talking to them. And I mean, you gotta think about it. At least when you smoke a cigarette, your eyes are on the road when you're driving down the street. Now your eyes are on your phone and you're driving down the street. So smoking may be the physical, or should we have to see with in time how social media really affects our lives, because it seems to be, as positive as it goes, there's so many negatives to it. So many relationships that become destroyed, and with friendships and everything else because of that constant gratification, the constant liking, the constant I have to be on social media, even when you're not even doing anything. You find yourself just, I'm on social media looking for what? Just looking, just going through other people's lives and being nosy and judging, passing judgment.
I know, they're just looking. And here's a tip: stop looking and start living. I mean, because that's the thing. Reach for, and this is a good way to end this, podcast today. Take a look and literally time. Get a stopwatch or use the stopwatch on the iPhone or your smartphone, and literally time the amount of time you spend. Become aware
Mm-hmm.
of checking out social media. Include all the trips in the elevator, lines at Starbucks, going out with your friends at night, checking social media when you wake up in the morning, taking a shit in the morning, whatever it might be, checking timing it. How many hours a day are you on social media? Because that is the addiction. I'm not on social media that much. I literally will post my podcast on Instagram, post it on Facebook, and then I'm pretty much done for the whole rest of the day. Maybe I'll throw one other picture up there, and that's about it. So I'm maybe a 7-minute a day social media person. I don't want to read about other people's lives. I don't give a fuck, okay? I really don't. If my friends want to connect with me, they know where to reach me. So think about how often you're on social media, and then think about what else you could be doing during that time. Because this is definitely a new addiction. And I'm including when you go to the gym. I'm including every time you look. Or if you don't want to time it, just count how many times you check.
Here's the side effect to social media. Smoking, we know it harms your lungs and everything else. Social media, it hinders you and harms you from your goals, because you spend more time on social media than you do going for your goals. I don't know anybody. Everyone I know is goal oriented and either a legend or on their way to become one. And those are the same people I know who use social media as a platform or as a tool. But they don't really live off social media. They don't really worry about their followers. I've got a client with 1 million followers and she could care less about it. It's just part of her job. So not everything you see on social media is real. Learn to look at it and appreciate it for entertainment value when you have a break or you need a laugh. Quit living your life based on how others live theirs.
It's a good way to end it. Where can they reach you?
Eddie Palmer at Gmail, Eddie Palmer 12, and oh shit.
Oh shit? What was that?
Eddie Palmer 12 at gmail.com.
There you go.
Every once in a while,
there was no Eddie Palmer oh shit at gmail.com. Though that would have been a really great Gmail address.
Now, what is my email address again? It came out completely backwards. Happens sometimes. Eddie Palmer 12 at gmail.com.
Eliminate the oh shit. See you tomorrow. Actually, Eddie's going to be back on tomorrow. We're going to talk about something tomorrow that I think is really interesting. How can you find love projecting lies? Ooh, that's going to be a controversial one. 10-minute daily reality check. Here's one thing I'm going to be a hypocrite about right now. Go on your social media and only spend 5 minutes a day on it, sharing this podcast, because I think we all need to get off of social media, but you need more people to listen to this so they get off of social media so you actually can meet them. So this will be your only time you're allowed on social media today. See ya.